Hello and welcome back to the Cartoonist Studio. And we're back in the library again. We've also got some cartoons behind me. I didn't mention them on the last video, but we've got Lauren Hardy over there, and we've got a cartoon here, which was drawn by a guy who he created Desperate Dan for the British comic The Dandy. If you don't know who he is, go and look him up and have a good giggle. He was fun. I think Dudley Dawkins. I could be wrong on that one. But anyway, today's cartoon. What are we doing? We're doing an editorial cartoon. Remember I discussed it? This is the one where we get cancelled. Yes, we're going to get cancelled today. It's going to be fun. I'm doing an editorial cartoon. I don't like calling them political cartoons because I am not a political animal. Or rather, I have no political persuasion. I hate all politicians with equal vehemence. So that aside, the cartoon I'm choosing to do is, shall we say, it's the subject of chaps going into the ladies' toilets, or shall we say, chaps that used to be chaps and now identify as women going into the ladies' toilets. Now, I'm not making a statement. I'm not saying one side or the other. I'm doing what any cartoonist would do, and that is I am holding a mirror up to life and reflecting the absurdities I see therein. That's what a cartoonist does. And if anyone gets offended in between, well, that's between them and their lack of sense of humour. So we're just going to have a bit of fun. I'm going to point out something that had occurred to me. So I'm not talking about the subject, I'm talking about the bits around it. I guess that's kind of what I do. I can't find the bits on the outside. That's what I take the mickey out of. So I'm going to be doing that. So without further ado, shall we go and get cancelled? Yes, let's do that. Okay, here we go. I got a piece of paper and there's no going back. Now, I've been asked a few times to, what sort of, on a serious point, people ask me, what kind of materials do you use? What brushes, what pencils, all that sort of stuff. So we'll start off with the technical stuff. I use a piece of paper, a ruler, a pencil, and my right hand. Right, that's the technical stuff done. Let's get back on with the cartoon, shall we? So this is a political cartoon. Now, normally I know I draw the panels freehand, and I will be doing that today. But I just found because there's a lot more panels than I normally have in these cartoons, I've just laid them out. And I'm going to have this one as an open panel because it's going to have, it's where the effect comes in, should we say. So that's an open panel. Let me explain that. Open panels are usually for impact purposes. And it's the impact of the point or the joke or whatever it is you want to do. They're good when they're opened up. So there you go, there's a technical thing for you. Right, let's start off, shall we? So we'll start off with our two main characters. We'll start off with the lady. I'm going to draw them fairly close. I'm not going to draw whole bodies. So I'll have her. She's a fairly harmless, innocuous lady, shall we say? We'll give her, and we do that by giving them glasses. I know that a lot of harmful and very innocuous or noxious people wear glasses, but it's stereotypes. It tends to work a little bit like that. This is just how you draw them. So there we go. There's the glasses. Can you see them? Can you see them, children? Good. If you can't, shout up or speak up. So we'll have her sort of just standing here, maybe just normal clothes, sweatshirt, jeans probably, And she's making the point. I should actually do the lettering first because I tend to forget. But I may leave everything until the end. I don't know. I may sort of. No, actually, I do letterby. I do my editorial cartoons by hand, don't I? If you're unsure, in the playlist, you see what I'm doing here. In the playlist, there is a whole playlist of political editorial cartoons. But she's getting the attention of someone who she perceives, right, to be a chap, who we will later find out, and we'll use the American terminology here, turns out to be a £200 teamster called Ruth. I don't know what a teamster is, but I remember Mad Magazine used to use teamsters, or the description of a teamster, as someone who was quite rough and tough. And that's what we got here. And here we have our self-identifier. Yeah. So, whilst we're here, probably for the last time, what have you been up to? Have you had a good time? Have you had a good few weeks or a few weeks? Did you enjoy last week's video? If I'm right, because I've done a whole load of these videos, you see. I did a load after Christmas. And I just decided, well, I've got a bit of not a quiet period, but I was waiting on scripts and OKs for other jobs. So I thought, well, you know what, I'll get ahead of myself and do a couple of videos worth of YouTube stuff. So that's what I've been doing. So I think last week's would have been the one where I did Keith Stirrat's cartoon. So I hope you enjoyed that. The point of me doing this, I don't know what the reaction was to it. Yes, it is. Because whilst they're transitioning, you see, they've not completely gone the way that they want to go. They're not transitioned into a man or a woman, depending which way they're transitioning. So they're probably on the hormone tablets, but not every single one of them actually does wind up transitioning. I think it's like a grace period, isn't it, where they have to sort of think about it and get used to living like the sex that they want to be. So there you go. So we'll put the words in, I think. Yeah, we will get the words in because I'm going to need to get everyone in the right position. All my ducks lined up, as they say. And in political cartoons, there's quite a few ducks. And I'll probably go a bit quiet for that bit. Maybe enough there, I don't know. What's the other bits? Oh, this one, there's not much. Yes, that's it. 3 rows should do that. So I'm now going to speed this bit up, and no words shall utter from my mouth. So enjoy the peace and quiet, and I'll even give you a bit of music because I'm good like that. Okay, you don't need to worry about that because I'll clean all this up afterwards and may change the wording around there. I'm not quite sure. But this is how we start off. I will start you off with the wording here. That's she. She's saying, excuse me, this is the ladies' toilet. I may actually change it to, excuse me, you do realise this is the ladies' toilet. And that's all you need. She might just as well have lit the blue touch paper and retreated. As we're gonna kick off now. Yeah. So now Ruth, as we've already discussed, the £200 Teamster is going to be off on one. And like I say, I am not having a go at anyone who genuinely feels that they are in the wrong body. I know it does happen. We all know it happens. I'm not mocking anyone here. In fact, no, I'm just not mocking anyone. I'm just being a cartoonist, doing what a cartoonist does. And sadly, how many cartoonists are not allowed to do? I mean, the amount of people that get cancelled just by doing what they've always done. And like I say, you can cancel me if you want to. I'm not doing anything anyway. What are you going to cancel me from? But most people might say, "Oh, well, don't worry about it. You've not got a huge following yet." I have to add the word "yet." But you know, so don't worry about it. Probably no one's going to see it except us, and we all like you. We're with you, sort of. But the thing is, I'm probably going to send it because I need to get this channel to grow, and because the best way to do that is to get people to notice you. And the best way to get people to notice you nowadays is to be a little bit out there, shall we say. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send this off to a bunch of people from both sides of the argument, probably. So I can get viewpoints thrown at me from all angles. So I've gone to Amazon and I've ordered some thick rhino skin, as I think that's what I'm going to need. Now, the other lady's not going to be in this one. She doesn't need to be in it. As it's just Ruth getting upset. Now, we know, we're going to worry so much now because we've got a three-quarter viewish type thing of Ruth here. And now we've got a full view of Ruth, so we know what Ruth looks like. So now I don't have to worry too much. I can bring just a head and shoulders shot of Ruth. A scowling, angry Ruth. There we go. Yeah, maybe even a finger pointing Ruth. Broken fingernail, all the stuff, all the stereotypical stuff is there. Maybe Ruth was a trucker in a previous life. I don't know. All we know is Ruth's not happy. And this poor lady, we give her a name. Shall we call her? Ooh, what should we call her? I don't know. Names on a postcard. Or in the comments section, that's probably better. I was going to say Hermione, but we'll set all the Harry Potter fans off. Don't want to do that. I think we need to just calm them down. Their nostrils have only just recently ceased flaring. There we have it. Point. You go for it, Ruth. You get your point over. So we're fairly whisking through this one already. Also, you notice that in my other cartoon, like in my graphic novel work or my comic strip work, of which you'll hopefully see more soon, you'll notice that I use round balloons in that stuff, or oval shapes. But in these, I tend to go for the kind of a squarish ones. I don't know why. I don't think there's a particular reason for it. I think when I look at American style editorial cartoons, which I tend to base my work on, my editorials on that style, because they're more cartoony. I think I've mentioned it before in other posts. I'll mention it again because it is worth mentioning. British cartoons, British political or editorial cartoons, tend to be more realistic. The big size ones do. The little ones are just scratchy and tiny, and usually at one character, two maximum. But that's the British way of doing it. Well, I actually prefer the American way. I'm not saying it's better. I just prefer it. For the way they draw them like cartoons. Which is a cartoon, so it should be drawn like a cartoon. So I like that, and as a result, when I come to draw my political cartoons, that's how I do it. And if I ever get taken on by a newspaper as a political cartoonist, I think I've seriously burnt a few bridges today on that score. If it ever did happen, then this is how I would do it. This is how I would produce them. Right. So now we've got a very important part of any cartoon strip. This is the impact panel, what I call the impact panel. This is a panel where you pause, a bit like a comma in a sentence. You're forced to pause and notice something. So we still haven't got a name for her, have we? If you call her Desiree, let's call her Desiree. I like Desiree. That's a nice name. So she's fairly inanimate. She's not doing anything. The animation so far has all come from Ruth. We haven't got into the subject of pronouns yet. We don't know what Ruth likes to be identified as, or whether Ruth has anything to be identified as. We don't know. Raised eyebrows. Toilet. Cubicle. Now they vary from around, they vary from different parts of the world as to what they look like. I'm just drawing a standard. A standard. I think, is it? No, I think it's a bit. I think it's on the wonk. Can't have it on the wonk. They're falling over when they go in there. Right. It's still on the wonk, but never mind. We've gone too far now. So there we go. There's she's looking in the cubicle. Now I know the doors don't open out, but I have to have the door opening out just so as I can put this sort of thing here, with a catch. So she's looking in, and we'll even give her a little balloon here where she can be. That may not be there because when it comes to be colouring, I'll just do the shading there. There we have it. Desiree's having a quick look back there. Something's got her attention. Something in the cubicle. And there we go. Even though I haven't finished this panel yet, it's not immaterial. So you've got the setup, you've got the conflict, and then you have the resolution. As with any cartoon, setup, conflict, resolution. That's what you need for all cartoons, or conflict, or problem, or situation. So it's basically setup, conflict, resolution, situation, and then resolution at the very end. But here I wanted that resolution to be really punched out. So I had the setup, the conflict, the pause to make you think, and then the resolution. There's all your technical stuff. See, I told you all the technical stuff today. There's all the setup, conflict, resolution. I mentioned the pencils, the paper, the ruler, and my right hand. They give all this stuff out for free. I should charge. I really should. Incidentally, it's been quite nice lately. I've been noticing that, or rather, I've been coming onto my emails, and YouTube have been sending me lots of videos saying you got more subscribers. So, hello to all the regular subscribers. Good to have you back. And to the new subscribers, thank you. I hope you keep coming back. I just hope you aren't all transitioning. All the new ones are transitioning. They thought, oh, I love this cartoonist. He's really good. I'll come back and have another look. Oh, my God! Yeah. Probably what I've done, isn't it? I'll probably go back and find I got 7 followers. Right. And an awful lot of this comes out in the inking. You see a lot more of it in the inking. But she's still quite calm. He's going to be all full of pomposity and frustration and anger and yeah. I mean, he's not the type of person who genuinely wants to transition. They tend to be, or certainly the ones that I've encountered, not many admittedly, but the people I've encountered who have wanted to transition, or the people I know who know someone who is going through that, they tend to be more, they've got enough on their plate. They just want to be left alone to go through this mentally anguishing time for them. A lot of questions that need to be asked and what have you. But this is aimed at the one, it's the opportunist, sort of people that we all know exist but aren't allowed to talk about. We've got to have that door there. That's what I also love about women. A man will get frustrated, but a woman will just look at you and just calmly slash your argument to pieces with just a few words. I love that about women. Yeah, Ruth's being brought up short. And like I say, when I'm sort of talking about the type of person who Ruth here is, that's why I'm kind of overly caricaturing. It's, hairy chest, beard, shadow, all that kind of stuff. Because he's not a kind of genuine person. I mean, I don't know what it takes to realise that basically, when all the sexes were handed out, you were handed the wrong one. I don't know what's involved in that. Actually, this all needs to change. She needs to be redrawn because Ruth has decided that she's going into a full panel, a full body look with her hobnail boots. Oh, I tell you what, like if you're going to get cancelled, you might as well go the whole hog. That's what I say. Anyway, and now it's Ruth's turn to have the question mark, exclamation mark, question mark. And let's redraw. What did we call her again? No, I don't know. I can't remember what I called her now. Nice name, though. Desiree, that's right, Desiree. I like Desiree. I may create a cartoon strip just so as I can use that name. Yes, and on that point of a cartoon strip, the next video that I'll be doing, and you'll be seeing, is I draw a cartoon strip for a magazine called The Dalesman in the UK. It's only a UK magazine. Now, it does have readers around the world, but it's an English magazine because it's set in north of England, where people speak a little bit like that, That's moist and stuff. And I do a cartoon strip for them called Old Wives' Tales, and it's literally these two wives talking about their husband, or rather, the one talks more about her Ted. Now, I do it. The reason I'm doing the cartoon, because obviously I've drawn cartoons in the past, so there's nothing new in that. But the reason why I'm doing this particular one is because when I write it with the northern dialect, which is not the way that I speak, shall we say? Because I'm not from the Newydd. They speak a lot like that and say "took this" and "took that," and I can explain to you what they mean, what they're saying, what they're trying to say. I've been doing it for a while, and I do love doing it. It's a fun cartoon, but there's a lot of things to say about it. There's also mention about my previous cartoon strip, which was Adam and Eve. That'll get mentioned in there, and there'll be a reason why it's mentioned in there. All right, so there's that. So that's for next fortnight, the next video that you see, next video I post, should we say. And then I think I'm actually going, hopefully then, I will have finished the Sleepy Hamlet short story, which I've pretty much decided is also going to be a graphic novel. Making some work for myself here, I tell you. But yeah, it's going to be a graphic novel as well. So that should be finished. The story, not the graphic novel. I haven't even started that yet. And I should be doing the cover for it. So that will be the video. But I'll also be reading a section of it out whilst rather than give you music at the end, I'll be reading a section of the book out. Would be like that. Right, where are we? I think we're doing okay here, aren't we? I think we're pretty much done there. So, if you like this kind of stuff, not necessarily the subject matter, because I know it's not for everyone, but, like, see, cartoons, we do these things and we think that's a good idea. And then we find out that maybe our viewpoint wasn't general consensus, as those poor chaps at Charlie Hebdo found out when they drew what they thought was a good idea, fairly harmless, bit of a joke, and wound up on the wrong side of the argument in a rather horrific way. So we cartoonists, I think we need danger money now. I think we should wear hard hats. I know when I drew all the COVID cartoons, I definitely wore a face mask. There we go. So there we have the penciled cartoon. We will now go all sorts of different directions, and we'll and we will ink it, and I'll shove some suitable music on there. I don't know what suitable music is for people who are transitioning. I have no idea. I'll find something. It may be calming music. I think we could do with a bit of calming music, don't you? Yes, I think we should. Thank you. I think that's what we'll do. So, yeah, I'll do that. Right, like I said, if you like this kind of content, me drawing cartoons and waffling, I mean that sort of content, then please like and subscribe and come back for more whilst we're still around. Come back in a fortnight. I mean, at the moment, it's what, about 11:30 on a Friday afternoon. Shall we see how long it takes me to get cancelled? Should we have a book on it? I reckon it's going to be about 2 weeks. 1 week to 1 week, no, 1.5 weeks to discover it, and then half a week for the internet to explode with flared nostrils and frustration and hormones everywhere. There'd be lots of trouble, and I'm sure I'll be in the centre of it. So yeah, maybe not share this one. We'll keep it between ourselves, shall we? Until I'm famous, and then someone will go back and say, "I found this video. He's disgusting. Everyone, shoot him on sight. Get rid of him. He's a disgrace." But it'll be too late then. Right, there we go. There's the cartoon. So thank you once again for your time and your patience. And I didn't set out to offend. I really do never set out to offend. I just set out to be silly. And if my silliness has offended you, then I'm sorry. Don't come back again. Really, that's the best bet. If it offends you, then you're not the kind of person that will enjoy this channel. So just don't come back. You don't have to get upset about it. You don't have to shout and rant and rave and hate. Just don't come back. And try and apply that with everything in your life. And you'll find that it'll be a lot less traumatic for you. But if you did enjoy it, and I hope you did, and saw it for what it was, for just a little bit of silliness, then please keep coming back, and we'll do more of this and the usual stuff, cartoon strips, because I've got plans for a cartoon strip I want to send out to syndicates, and I want to take you through that. I've got the graphic novel version of Sleepy Hamlet. I've got the short story version of Sleepy Hamlet, a few other short stories as well. Plus, I'm also looking to do another graphic novel for children called Damien and the 1,000-Foot Snowman. Well, that'll be fun, won't it? So, like I said, do please keep coming back, and I'll keep doing what I'm doing. And until next week, when we do the cartoon strip from up north and all that, all I can say is thank you once again, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Until then, bye-bye for now. Hello and welcome back. Now, I know I normally go straight into the music, and I will be going into it soon. Just pointing out that I did the lettering, obviously you can tell that, and I did the borders because they just take up time. So that's done beforehand. Although I had specifically ruled lines in the pencil, I knew I was just going to use those as a guide and then freehand draw the panels. I only ever do that in the editorial style cartoons. So anyway, that aside, let us get on with the inking.